This more with Harry Farley, who is a practicing Christian, and Mohammed Shafiq. He's from the Ramadan Foundation, a Muslim group which tries to foster better relationships with non-Muslims. Morning to you both.
Morning.
Do the results of this survey resonate with both of you?
I think Christians can sometimes find difficulties, but I think what I would say is actually Christians and people of all faiths have a huge amount to contribute to the workplace, and I think I would encourage both Christians and employers to recognise that and sort of look towards the positives of what Christians can contribute.
Is it the same for all faiths, or do you think things are different?
Yes, I think generally it's the same. Over the last few years we've had secularists who have tried to marginalise all faith, and we as people of faith feel strongly that our faith is a positive contribution to society, both public and private, and in the workplace as well. And I would just encourage people to have those conversations with their employer to make sure they get the facilities like time off and facilities to prayer. And it's a two-way street, so it's not just you go to your employer and ask. It's about giving to your employer as well. So for example, as a Muslim, I work over Christmas just to help my Christian colleagues, so that when it comes to Muslim festivals, I have the time off. So it's give and take.
So I suppose one of the things you must be slightly more aware of is that lots of Christians, lots of people with no faith would want Christmas off. But I know that you have had reports of people who struggle to take time off over Eid.
Yes, and it's particularly more difficult now because Eid falls in the middle of peak summer leave. It's okay when Eid is in October, November or February, but yeah, when it's in peak time it's very, very difficult. So I often get people coming to me 2 weeks before their Eid saying I haven't had the time off. So I would encourage them to obviously get permission to take time off at an earlier stage.
A lot of people listening to the discussion will fully understand the issue of practicalities of days when you would not want to be working because it's important to your religion. On a day-to-day basis, in terms of what are you doing in an office? I mean, you could be renting cars, you could be doing anything. And what part does religion have, if any, to do with the normal day-to-day business of being in an office, being in a workplace?
Well, I think for me, as a Christian, I would look to the example of Jesus, and he spent all his time amongst people who religious people of the day despised, the people who were at the bottom, the marginalised and the oppressed, and the people who are maybe pushed to the side. So I'd say, on a small scale of everyday work, as a Christian, I would look to that example. I think Christians have a huge amount to contribute in loving the person sat next to them at the desk, in showing maybe a different understanding of success. So on a very small scale, on one-to-one scale, I think.
In a way, what I'm asking is, if you don't have a religious belief, and there are lots of people who you will be sitting next to in an office, any one of us could be, for them, they might be thinking, why is this time and effort being spent on accommodating someone's religious beliefs, where all I do is sit here and do my job? Do you understand what I mean when I say that? And that's no disrespect to the religion, they're just saying, I just do this.
And most people of faith would do exactly the same thing, and for some people it's a very private issue. Practical differences like people like Muslims need to be praying, need a room to pray in at some time during the day or in the evening when they're at work. Time off on a Friday to go and pray. Jewish people needed time off for the Sabbath. It's practical things that have an impact on their individual beliefs. It's not about people of faith imposing our beliefs on others in the workplace. It's just saying, I'm a person of faith, and I want to carry out my prayers or things and get time for that.
And has anyone ever stopped either of you following out your religious beliefs or praying or taking time off?
That hasn't been my experience, but I think there should be a weight of responsibility on Christians to engage humbly and gently in that, and sort of not, as Mohammed says, not asking, and sort of just being slightly humble and slightly gracious in how we go about asking for conditions for our faith.
Thank you both very much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Time now.